don't play with it, don't be dishonest.
Hi, so welcome back to my channel. My name is Demi, and I am finally here with the video about my breast reduction surgery. So this video is going to be all things breast reduction. I am going to be referring to my notes a lot because I want it to be as detailed as possible. So I want to answer any questions that I may have had before going into this process. I want to answer any questions that I know you may have. So yes, let's get into it. Okay, so the first question is, when did I have my breast reduction? So I had my breast reduction on December 5th, 2025. So I am officially about 8 months post-op, I believe. It was Dr. Jonathan Nguyen at Atlanta Plastic Surgery. He has multiple locations, but I personally went to the Atlanta location. My biggest reason for getting a breast reduction was back and neck pain and my posture, and also just the appearance. So start with the back and neck pain. I feel like that mainly bothered me after long days of work, like sitting straight up. And I think that also affected my posture, but I'm still working on the posture. That hasn't improved much. But as far as like the back and neck pain, since surgery, that has literally went away. Like, as far as appearance, like, I always had like a bigger chest area, and since I was young, I started developing early when it came to that. And I've never been fully comfortable with it. They weren't massive. Like, I'm not gonna, you can even look at some of my past videos from November of 2025. You can look at some of my videos to see what size they were. They weren't really big, so I don't want to be dramatic and act like they're big because there's a lot larger, but I was never comfortable with the size of it. And so with weight loss, going up and down in the weight, like I think college, I got up to 190, and then I lost the weight and got to 150, and then I gained the weight grad school, and then I lost the weight. So all the fluctuations with the weight, it did not do me a favor when it came to the overall appearance of my chest. So yeah, that is why I decided to get a breast reduction. Before surgery, I was around like a 36 triple D. They were larger, but when I weighed more, but of course I lost weight. So I don't know my true bra size right now. I did measure myself, and based on like the calculations, I think I would be around a 34C, but don't mark my word for it because I don't know. I'm currently still not wearing bras with wires. I honestly need to look up to see when you're allowed to. If anybody knows, comment it below, because I'm not sure when I would be able to wear bras with wires. But honestly, I have no interest right now. So that's kind of why I usually wear sports bras. Or I do have a bra that's not a sports bra, but it doesn't have the wire. So I don't know my bra size right now. Incision that my surgeon did on me was an anchor, which is literally here. Yeah. So it goes around here, it goes down, and then it goes under. And you can look up what an anchor scar looks like online. Lipo, side lipo as well. Because if you have larger breasts, sometimes the fat is here. So if you take it out here and leave this, and it can leave like side boob. Honestly, I don't know if it made a difference as far as the lipo. My insurance did approve my breast reduction, and it was a super easy process. I scheduled an appointment with Dr. Nguyen's office at Atlanta Plastic Surgery. They got me in. They asked me about my bra size and issues I was having, any issues that I was having. They took notes. I asked all the questions I had. He told me about the risk. He told me, asked me what size I would like to be, all of that. They took pictures. So they submitted all the documentation on September 16th. And I received my approval on September 18th. It was so quick. I thought it would take, because they said it could take up to 21 days. No, like I went to that appointment on Tuesday, and on Thursday, they messaged me and said that it was approved. 2 days later, it was approved, and she was ready to talk about dates. That quick. Most surgeons will require you to have some type of documentation prior to coming to them. You will need to show them that you've been in physical therapy, that you've made some complaints with your primary care provider. Some offices require that. I remember one office I called, they said, hey, have you done at least 6 months? I said, no. 6 months of physical therapy? I said, no. So she was like, yeah, that's required to book an appointment. With him, it was no requirement. What I say is, I don't think that that's just a surgeon thing alone. I think that's based on insurance too. Some insurance companies want to see that you have tried the least expensive routes before they pay for a surgery. So check with your insurance. But yeah, check with your insurance, call around, do your research when it comes to picking a doctor and everything like that. Pay is easy, of course. If you're self-pay, you just tell them what you want and they give you a quote. That's easy. But if you are going to be using insurance, I would say follow up with your insurance, because some of them do want to see that you've tried other things prior to paying for the surgery. So yeah, there's that. Out-of-pocket costs. Let's talk about the money. With the surgeon itself, with Dr. Nguyen, I had to pay $854. I could choose to do the lipo. I had a choice of doing a side lipo. I didn't have to do it. That was an additional $1,000. I went ahead and paid that, so that was $1,800. After I scheduled the surgery, I did have to pay $1,300 to the hospital. So yeah, that was $1,300 to the hospital. But a few months later, I guess my insurance had completely finished the claim. They refunded me $814. So I got $814 back, which really brings my total to, I think, $564 for the hospital. So it's about $564 for the hospital. For surgery costs and hospital, it brings my total to about $2,400 that I had to pay out of pocket, which is still a lot cheaper than a self-pay breast reduction. Like, yeah, it's a reduction in a lift. Usually, I think self-pay is minimum $7,000 to $8,000. Breast tissue was removed. For my right breast, it was 302 grams, the left breast 290 grams, so that is a total of 592 grams that was removed from both. They did remove more from my right breast because it was slightly larger. As far as the liposuction, they did 330 cc's from one side, 330 cc's from the other side, a total of 660 cc's. They also sent off the breast tissue to pathology just to make sure that, I guess they check it for cancer and make sure the tissue is healthy. Everything came back fine for me. 8 months post-op, I would say that I absolutely love my results. I would do it over and over again. I honestly would have did it a lot sooner if I could regret the surgery at all. I love it. Shopping is different for me. Just having a lift and just having a lot smaller, I would do it over and over again. Like, there are tops that I could wear that I couldn't wear before. Like, the only downside is scars. Be prepared for scars, and everybody's scars differently. My scars are still pretty much there, but it does not bother me. I'll be lying if I said it bothered me. It does not bother me one bit. I haven't been consistent with like scar therapy. Yeah. I haven't been consistent with it, so I feel like partly that's my fault. As far as scar products, the things that I have used is Silogen. I got that initially because it was highly recommended in the Facebook groups, and it's expensive, okay? The Silogen, it was like in a teal bottle, like silicone scar gel. It was probably like close to $100, if not 100. I can't remember the exact price, but yeah, that was expensive. I use bio oil. I'm sure we all familiar with bio oil. Silicone, scar gel. Sensation, I know that's a big question. So do I have sensation? Yes, I feel like it's the same as before. There we go. So when I woke up from surgery, when I got home, I was placed in, this is the exact bra too. This bra. So it was like this. It has the hooks on it, and it also has a zipper. I was placed in this bra directly after surgery. Everything was like padded up with abdominal pads, which are pretty larger than any other pads that you would use. Pretty comfortable with that in. And then everything was taped. I had surgical tape on my incisions, and post-op appointment, 3 weeks. At that post-op appointment, at that point, that is where I was able to see my doctor. That's when he removed my tape. That's when I was able to see my incisions. He told me everything was healing well and that my results looked good, and cleared me to start scar care. He also cleared me to work out. He said, obviously don't do anything like too much pulling or not too much, you know, but you can do something low intensity. He said everything was looking really good and everything was pretty much closed up. However, they call it a T-junction spot, and it is like right in the middle where everything meets, where each scar meets. And the T-junction is a common opening spot. You can just raise your arms, reach this way, reach that way. It's easy for it to open. So I feel like after the 3 weeks, I would notice it was very tiny, very little, but still, because of that, I did not feel comfortable working out. I also didn't feel comfortable doing scar care because I didn't want to risk getting an infection. So yeah, my doctor cleared me, but after I got home, after a few days, I didn't feel comfortable doing that. And if anything, I probably would have just did the scar gel. I don't think I would have did any tape. I don't think I would have did any tape. I was just overly cautious. I wouldn't have done any tape. But yeah, so I decided to take it slow. I started scar therapy and working out probably at about 6 weeks. When everything was closed, everything was looking good. When I felt comfortable, that's when I did it. Now, obviously, you know, follow what your doctor says, but you also have to use your own discretion too and do what's comfortable for you, because I did not want to delay in healing because I wanted to go work out. And all it takes is one wrong move and you didn't reopen it's like the T-junction. It'll open really small, but it's possible. And I went through that. I took it easy. I don't even think I started driving until closer to 2 weeks. Maybe it was like a week. Yeah. I wasn't playing, y'all, because I just did not want to risk anything. I didn't want to risk anything. Advice for post-op appointment is whatever questions you may have, whatever complications, anything that you want to discuss, ask then. Ask then, write it all down, ask. That's what they're there for. Like I said, Dr. Nguyen was extremely informative. He had amazing bedside manner, and he was just very nice. Like, you can just tell that he truly cares about his patients. So I felt comfortable asking whatever, and I did. But yeah, the hardest part about recovery for me was slowing down, waiting, and not being able to do things for myself. I feel like that was the hardest thing for me. My bed is kind of high. Getting out of my bed took longer. Getting comfortable in bed took longer. Showering took longer. Making food took longer. Driving took longer. Everything just took longer because I was trying to be careful. That was the hardest thing. Like, having to sit down and just be so limited. Like, I can't lay on my side. I'm a side sleeper. I'm not a stomach sleeper, but I can't lay on my side. I'm a side sleeper. I have to lay straight up because I would sleep. I had a large pregnancy pillow that kind of kept me from turning to my side. I also would like sleep with pillows under my back. So I slept elevated because I think they want you to sleep elevated as well. That was uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable. And it wasn't that bad until about 3 weeks. And I started getting like terrible back pain. My back was on fire. And I think it's because of me sleeping elevated. I think it was, I don't know. Something just wasn't right. So I think shortly after that, I started to sleep flat. And when I started sleep flat, that really helped alleviate that back pain because my back was on fire. It was like the 3rd, 4th week. It was on fire. Oh my goodness. Like, that was the hardest part of recovery. But it doesn't last forever. It doesn't last forever. It doesn't last forever. Everything is temporary, but it was tough. Everything is temporary, but it was tough. Like 4 weeks, it got easier. It really got a little easier after 4 weeks. It did. So yeah, my top recovery items, definitely the pregnancy pillow. I also had a mastectomy pillow. The mastectomy pillow was something that I used here at the house. I would go to sleep with the mastectomy pillow. So I would sleep with the pregnancy pillow, the mastectomy pillow I would have here. That way, if I'm on my phone, the phone don't drop. It was like an extra barrier to protect me. In the car, I will be able to put the seatbelt over it. So that was something that I used a lot. Those first 3-4 weeks, I was married to my mastectomy pillow and my pregnancy pillow. A grabber tool, I didn't use that often, but I did buy one of those grabber tools so that I wouldn't have to reach. If I'm at home by myself, I could just, I wouldn't have to reach. But I honestly didn't use that often, so I don't know if that's necessary. But pads and the gauze, chef's kiss. I don't know what I would have done without those. I would definitely recommend the abdominal pads. They are kind of expensive. Most people just use the abdominal pads or gauze like when they're out of surgery, when you're bleeding, or if there's any leakage. But for me, I use the abdominal pads probably for the first 6 weeks. It was just comfortable. Something I didn't like feeling like my bra was rubbing against my incisions. So I use those abdominal pads as an extra buffer so that if anything is rubbing against my incisions, it's something soft. Like I said, this is the bra that they put me in fresh out of surgery. You can adjust the straps. After that, I bought bras that was similar to it from Amazon. I can link these below, but I brought these. I brought 2 of them. And that way, because honestly, that bra was so big. The bra they put me in was so big that it wasn't comfortable. So when I would get up out of bed, and I don't know if that's the lipo, y'all. It could be the lipo that I was feeling. When you have lipo, it just hurts a little more. But when I would get out of bed, everything would feel sore and tight. So I don't know if that's the side lipo that they did. I learned by having a more secure bra, it just felt more comfortable. Like I felt like I could move around a little more. But it's still not my top recommendation. Because when it just kind of sits right here. So I still felt like I had to use the abdominal pads because I was afraid that this part here would rub on my incision. It might be in my head, y'all, but I'm sorry. It's like I'm that person. I'm a little cautious. So let me tell y'all the recommendation, okay? The recommendation is this Fruit of the Loom bra. It comes with 2 to the pack, and I think it might have been $20. I got it from Walmart, and I got it in a size medium. This bra right here, I think when I started using this bra, I was able to ditch the abdominal pads. I wish I would have tried this bra a lot sooner. As you see, it's like this, right? But it's literally almost like a crop top. It is very long. So when I wore this, I was able to be confident that nothing would rub against my incisions because it's so long. It came from like here to here. My nurse did recommend that we do a compression tank. She says you don't have to do a bra, just do a compression tank. Now this is a sports bra, but it's the closest thing to a compression tank. And the fact that it's so long, you don't have to worry about it hitting no incisions. It was so comfortable. This bra changed the game for me. Like, I wish I would have known. So I recommend this bra. Like, from Walmart, Fruit of the Loom. If you go, you will see them. Looks like this. Recommend. Talk about Facebook groups and social media. So I was in a few recovery Facebook groups, and I was recommended the support there, just being able to type in a question or type in an issue that you were having, and to be able to find that other people were experiencing that, and they were able to offer advice or what worked for them, and you're able to see all of the support and advice from other people. You can even upload your own photos or situation. Was very helpful. They talk about scar therapy, they talk about surgery, they talk about complications, they talk about wounds, they talk about everything. And it's very, very helpful to have that informative support. But what I will say too is also take everything with a grain of salt. You don't want to become anxious and worried. And I feel like I took on some of that too, which is why I was just so cautious, which is why when my doctor said start scar therapy and start working out, I'm like, no, I'm not comfortable, because I'm seeing what other girls said that they weren't able to work out for 4 to 6 weeks. The doctor didn't clear them to do stuff until 6 weeks. And I just wanted to be safe. Now, I know my surgeon is very good at what he does. So he's looking at these scars and like, girl, you're able to start now. And maybe if I would have started when he told me to start, I probably wouldn't have these scars still here. But I didn't. So, yeah. But I will say, take everything with a grain of salt. You don't want to become anxious about surgery. Okay, y'all. So I hope this video was very informative for you. Overall, I do recommend the surgery. Recovery can be recovery, but I love the results and I will do it again. All for watching this video. I hope that you were able to gain something from TAP surgery. I'm wishing you a speedy recovery. And if you have any questions, then again, feel free to ask. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and bye.